Everything is Awesome is part of Courts and Parts, a podcast network featuring pop culture, TV, movie, and geek podcasts. Check out some of our other shows, like TV Ate My Brain, Let's Chat with Revelin Friends, and Podstalgic at courtsandparts.com.
All right, it's here. It's finally here. Episode 100 of Everything is Awesome. I am so excited to finally get this out here to you guys. A couple weeks ago, I sat down at Amalgam Comics Coffeehouse. Thank you so much to Ariel for letting us use her store to put on this event. Thank you to Heart Points Pod, Zach and Diana, for putting on your show to quote-unquote open. I feel disgusting. I feel dirty saying that word. It's a weird concept to me. I've never phrased it as opening for me. But thank you guys for coming out and doing Heart Points Pod live. That was such a fun experience to watch you guys do the show. Thank you to Jeff Stormer for coming out and running the game that we played on this episode you're about to hear. Mission accomplished. Such a fun game. I heard a lot of people complimenting it, a lot of people looking for information on when it's going to be released. So, thanks to Jeff. Congrats to such a great game. Thank you to Garrett Smith for coming out and playing. You all know Garrett. He's been on the show multiple times. He hosts I Like to Movie. So thank you to him for coming out and being part of this. Thank you to Joe Gates, former guest on the show, for coming out and being part of this. He was my improv guy, Garrett was my comedy guy, and Jeff was my game guy. I was the asshole holding a microphone. And Joe was able to hook up 2 additional performers for me in the improv world, Dan Higgins and Hannah Datz. So thank you to Dan. Thank you to Hannah. Everyone that was part of this show, thank you. Every single person that came out. It was way more packed than I thought it was going to be, which meant there was more than 2 people there. And I really enjoyed just seeing every chair that we had out filled up. A couple people standing in the back and watching. All the laughs that you're going to hear. It was just a really, really great event to celebrate 100 episodes of Everything is Awesome. As you'll hear me say in the recording, we did dedicate this episode to my friend's family, Dan Kurtz, the Kurtz family. They unfortunately lost one of their family members, Dan's niece, in a hit-and-run accident here in the Bucks County area. And I will have it in the show notes, but there is a GoFundMe that you can go to and donate to help with medical expenses, funeral costs, and all the related things that come with, losing somebody in such a horrific way. So this episode was dedicated to that. And, but it wasn't all doom and gloom. It was a really fun day, fun hour or so for my show, a fun event that was about 2.5 hours long. And I can't thank everyone enough who was part of it. I can't thank every single guest that I've had on for the last 100 episodes. From Garrett to Jeff to Jason Ashley to James D'Amato to Joe Kaliva to Casey Spivey, to Ryan Starr, to Ryan Lauer, to Aaron McGathy, all, and many, many, many more people who have been on this show. Thank you all so much for being part of this 100-episode journey. Thank you to the Philadelphia Podcasting Society for really showing me what a podcasting community was about. I didn't see that before I found this podcasting society. The podcasting community, when I started about 10.5 years ago, was really, really small. And it didn't seem like it was an embracing community in the places that I was finding it. So embracing it here with the Philadelphia podcasters and creators and whatnot has been such a fun experience over the last near 2 years, last 100 episodes. I'm just so happy to be part of it. And I'm so excited to do another 100 episodes. And just in a couple weeks, we'll be celebrating our 2-year anniversary in such an epic way. If you missed the live show at Amalgam Comics Coffeehouse, please try to come out and support the second annual Everything is Awesome Let's F Cancer Podiversary show. It's going to be held on January 28th, 2018 from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have 6 great shows on the bill. Everything is Awesome, Full Belly Laughs, I Like to Movie, Nerds with Words, just to name a few, are all going to be gathering in Tattooed Mom on South Street for a day of fun, a day of raising awareness and raising money for Fuck Cancer, a great little organization that helps families that are directly and indirectly affected by this horrific disease called cancer. So come out. It's going to be a fun day. Come out and support your favorite show. Come out and support all the shows. It's going to be a day full of fun. We're hoping to do a lot of the cool things that we did last year. So that's enough of this. You have another hour to listen to me babble and try to make fun. I was on a panel of players that are way more talented than me, and I'm so excited that they were able to bring the laughter and whatnot. So without further ado, here is episode 100 of Everything is Awesome. Thank you so much for all the support you've given me over the last 100 episodes. Welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I am your host, Kev, and this is the show where we normally sit down and talk to awesome people about awesome things. However, we're playing some games this week. This is our 100th episode celebration, so thank everyone for coming out. Thanks for everyone who I'll be introducing in a second for partaking in this. Big thanks to Heart Points Pod for quote-unquote opening us up, as they said on Twitter or on one of their episodes. Great that you did your first show with me, so thanks. It was great. Before we get officially started, if you guys have been following the show or the event, a close friend of ours, their niece was a victim of a hit and run. So, we're dedicating this show to the Kurtz family, and if I was more prepared, I'd have the GoFundMe in front of me. Here it is. So if you guys are, if I know it's the holiday season, but if you have any kind of spare coin to help with the funeral and medical expenses, you can go to gofundme.com/memorial-fund-for-Jessica Kurtz. It's also on the event page or on the facebook.com/realawesomepod. It's pinned at the top there. So that would be, just a really good friend of mine who is hit, obviously really hard time. Now for laughs, I just want to do a quick thank you to our sponsors, and that is Zencastr. They sponsor all our live shows, and of course, Amalgam Comics Coffeehouse for hosting us here. One of my favorite venues here in the city, and they are very kind to the podcasting community here. So big shout to them. As I said, we normally talk to guests about whatever they're doing, but we're playing games this week. So let's introduce our panelists. First up is Hannah Datz. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, you did great.
Oh, nice. From Sabotage, the improv group.
That's right.
And any other plugs? There's things that you want to talk about?
Not really, other than I'm halfway through a pregnancy, so this could go anywhere today.
Oh, boy. I'm just trying to get some more slack for Joe over there. Let's, Joe Gatz. No, not Gatz.
Oh my
God, that's the easiest one. I don't know what I was thinking. Joe Gatz, everybody.
Hey.
Gates.
Hey, I'm Joe Gates. What's up?
If anyone has listened to the show before, when we did a live show at Atomic City Comics, Joe performed as Thor for us and was hilarious.
Not just any Thor, though. Not from the Avengers. The actual Norse god Thor.
Yes. Yeah, and I played the big old dummy who thought it was Marvel's Thor.
It's true. It's true.
And you are part of... Oh, God, let's see.
The comedy show Gats. Show Gats. No. It's the Comedy Showgates with Joe Gates. That's me. That's every first Friday. It's a cabaret. So like we have comedy, we have improv, we have musical improv, we have stand-up, we have sketch, we have burlesque. So and that's every first Friday at Latage at 6th and Bainbridge.
All right, and next up we have Mr. Dan Higgins. I didn't screw that one up. Sorry.
No, you got it.
And you are from the improv group Scary Mofos is what we're going to say.
That's correct, yeah. It's the censored version, the
Yes.
PG-13 version, because we go there. And we often, Scary Mofos, Joe joins me on that team, and we often perform at the Comedy Showgates with Joe Gates, as does Hannah Datz and Joe Gates Sabotage. So lots of improv, lots of comedy.
Double dipping.
And I just want to say that these guys are so professional that like 10 minutes before this show started, they're like, Joe came to me, he's like, all right, we're going to do our practice. Like, whatever improv people do. And I'm like, okay.
We like to practice improv because that's what you do when you improv. You make it all up, but you practice all of it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and watch and not prepare and be unprepared as usual. We're going to skip the next guy in line because he's the guy running this thing. So
rude.
I mean, we're going to get back to you. So we have our final player, first ever guest on Everything is Awesome, my podcasting buddy.
What's up, dude?
Garrett Smith from I Like to Movie.
Hi. Do you start with a question, or do I just sit here and stare at you?
You just sit here and stare at me.
Oh, really? This is like the opening of The Force Awakens. Yeah. Who talks first? Me? You?
Well, I figure we know each other enough. You know how this show goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how this show goes. I've never played a game that I needed to ask for Cliff Notes for.
It is 2 pages.
It is
a single double-sided sheet.
One of these things is called written reports.
That's fair. There is writing involved. That's fair.
So Garrett is a host of Everything. I'm the host of Everything.
You're the host of Everything is Awesome. How you doing? You all right?
God, I'm a little tired, a little parched. I like to movie. You want to? Do you have anything to plug? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, we're dropping an episode on The Last Jedi tomorrow. Probably that'll come out. So we went to see that this weekend, and we have an episode coming out about that. We have an interview with Sean Baker, the director of The Florida Project, which I'm pretty sure is going to get some Oscar nominations this year, which I'm pretty excited about. So you can check that out on I Like to Movie, my podcast.
And finally, our GM.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's
Am
your
I going
turn.
now? Great.
He designed the game that we're playing tonight. He's the host of the Party of One podcast and one of my very good friends in the podcasting world. Please give it up for Jeff Stormer.
Hey, buddy.
I said give it up, guys. Come on.
Thank you, everyone.
So can you talk about the game that we're playing today since you designed it?
Yes, we are playing a game. It is my upcoming role-playing game of super spies and terrible office meetings. It is called Mission Accomplished. There is a colon, an exclamation point, and the salute in the title, and I have not quite figured out how to write all that out yet, but I'm working on it. It is. Should I plug things, or should we go right into the game itself?
Plug things, and then you can...
Okay, so I do 3 podcasts. Party of One is my primary podcast. It is an actual play RPG podcast focused on 2-player role-playing games. Every week I sit down with a different guest, and we play a short, self-contained RPG session. You can find that at partyofonepodcast.com. I also am the co-host of All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, world-building, and storytelling podcast based on listener prompts. Every week we take a suggestion from a listener and we spin a fantasy story and a role-playing game character out of it. You can find that at allmyfantasychildren.com. And then, as I take a drink of eggnog, I host a once-a-year podcast about eggnog called Talkin' Nog. You can find that at soundcloud.com. We publish 1 episode a year. We answer listener questions. I describe listener photos. I give year in reviews. It's good. It is, I believe, the world's only eggnog enthusiast podcast. You can find that at soundcloud.com/talkingnog.
So are there other eggnog podcasts?
I'm not sure. I refuse to do research, and I insist that we are the only one.
How many episodes have you had?
1. We did 1 last year for Christmas 2016.
Okay.
It has been a year, and now I am obligated to do another one. And people have been tweeting me pictures of eggnog for the last year. So this is my life now.
So, technically you have not established the format of the show until you record this year's episode.
That is actually a very good point. I could do anything.
Did you, at some point in 2017 here, regret this decision of
No, not a single moment, because eggnog is delicious, and I'll live that life.
How much eggnog do you drink?
During probably more than is healthy or that I should is the answer to that question.
Wait, like all year? Like all year round?
Yeah, do you have like a black market guy you go to for like off-season eggnog?
Do you make your own?
I do have people I did have people tweeting me when Peeps made an eggnog at Easter.
Whoa.
They made a marshmallow eggnog. I didn't try it because but I did. I could if I wanted to have eggnog throughout the year. I choose not to, but I could. And it's a hard choice every single year. I get into about May and I'm like, man, I've been looking at photos of eggnog for 4 months. I probably could just have some, but...
Is that like keeping your Christmas decorations up all year long?
I think so. Which, I mean, to be fair, Christmas decorations are a beautiful symbol of joy, so why don't we?
For those times of year that eggnog is not available in stores, you can actually just beat egg yolks into an equal volume of toothpaste.
That sounds right. That does sound correct.
They call it paste nog.
Paste nog.
You can brush your teeth right afterward.
I feel like it's just an all-in-one solution. You don't need to. You just
Yeah.
swig it and go.
Are there other forms of nog, by the way? You said your show is called Talkin' Nogs. Like, is it exclusively eggnog?
We
or
cover
is it...
all of the nogs. You know,
Yeah?
eggnog, marshmallow nog, banana nog.
There's
I don't know.
banana nog?
Probably not, but I like saying that there is.
Sounds like a rappy song.
It does. That's a good point.
All
His
right.
2018's episode could be about Tiernanog.
That's the fantastic place of like youth and beauty and fantasy in Irish folklore.
There was also Knights of Tiernanog,
Now you know.
which was a Fox children's show in the late 90s.
That's
Mystic
true
Knights
also.
of Tiernanog was the
That's
name
true.
of the
That's
TV
true.
show. Yeah.
Hey, if we're going to get to bullet point 35 in your game, we should probably get started.
All right, so let's talk about this game.
All right.
Instruct us, sir.
All right, here we go. The world as we know it is under siege by the villainous... gotta rewind. By the vast international league of larcenists, arsonists, and inventors of nefarious science. A criminal organization known as villains. To combat this, the United Nations have organized the best and brightest across the intelligence, the cybersecurity, and the special forces fields across the world. You are all the members of the United Nations Department of High-Risk Operations, also known as the Hero Department. You have just returned from stopping villains from destroying democracy or capitalism or industry or something or other. The details don't matter. Let's not get lost in the weeds. Anyway, you've returned, and now the most important discussion has to be had. Who gets credit for what went right, and who gets blamed for what went wrong? For you see, while you were away, it happened to come out that Agent 0069 was convicted of treason, and he is no longer affiliated with the organization, which means, for your purposes, that his corner office, you know, the one with the floor-to-ceiling windows and the company credit card and the company car, is up for grabs. Somebody is going to get that promotion. But we have to have an informal meeting to confirm that nothing Mission Control did, which is me, that we were not responsible for any wrongdoing during the mission. Because some things went a little bit sideways. So we're going to have a little bit of an office meeting to figure out who's getting that office, who's getting burned, and anything else in between. Does that make sense to everybody?
Totally.
Yes.
Aye.
Good. That is the correct answer. Which reminds me, I need to get dice out.
The only thing you need for any role-playing game.
I'm glad you told me it was pronounced Hero Corporation. I was reading it as Hyro Corporation the whole time. And I was starting to get very upset with the way I sounded saying Hyro.
Once I figure out where my dice are.
Oh no.
No, they're in here. The cat knocked them off of the kitchen table, so I know that they're in here because I had to chase them around the apartment.
I feel like that
There's
cat interrupts your podcast quite a bit, or at least when you're on another podcast.
She regularly does. I love her to death, and she's a pain in my... Okay. So, the first thing we need to do is find out the details of this mission. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask each of you one question about the mission itself. We'll start with Kevin. We'll work our way around. Kevin, what was the villainous plot that threatened the world or democracy or capitalism or whatever?
Villains, they were trying to destroy the world supply of pancake syrup.
Pancake syrup. Pancake syrup, the national export of Riverdale.
Oh, man.
All right. How were they planning on doing this, and how were you instructed to stop it?
They were going to go to the source and burn all the syrup trees to the ground, and we were going to stop that by using water
Okay.
to stop the fire.
Fire extinguishing. Great. All right. What was the critical flaw in their plan that allowed you to succeed?
They didn't bring any matches.
No matches.
They were so proud. Their pride and lack of matches, that was the downfall.
Hoisted by their own petard. A familiar story if ever there was one. Describe to me in a few sentences the location of the world supply of maple trees. Where did the mission take place?
In a few sentences, west of the Atlantic Ocean, east of the Pacific Ocean,
All right.
north of the United States of America, lies the Great White North, Canada. Specifically, Newfoundland? Are there trees in Newfoundland?
There are now, because you know what? Not going to research that.
I'm glad you narrowed down on that it was Canada, because I was like drawing a map to try to figure out.
Oh, yeah. I was definitely like, oh, my God, this could be anywhere.
Zooming in.
I was just going to say Canada, but it had to be a sentence or so.
That was good.
Your team made a dramatic escape after succeeding the mission. Describe that dramatic escape to me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that was how we made our dramatic escape.
In a nutshell?
We got inside of a nutshell. Do maples have nuts, right? We got inside of a maple nut. And,
They might or they might not.
Yeah,
But I bet that Canada, they probably make cars in the shape like golf carts where they make them look like a tomato.
I
or
was
something.
thinking we just assembled a bunch of maple nuts and used them as like a sled down
Oh
the
man,
mountain.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Held together with maple sap.
help together with sap. That's a solid executed plan.
Maple sap and hope.
Maple sap and hope. Maple Sap and Hope is the name of my Canadian country album.
I'd listen to that at night.
I would too.
Only at night, though.
Only at night, like near a fire.
Great. So now we've got the details of our mission. Now we need to go through a security check-in to make sure you are who you say you are and that Villains has not replaced you with a double agent. So what I'm going to need from each of you is 3 things. 1, your name, which is the best spy name you can think of. 2, your role on the mission, why you are an essential part of the operation. And 3, a fun fact, an icebreaker, so that we can get to know you as a person and as a member of the Hero Department family. Because we're not just an organization. We're a family.
Oh, am I starting?
Start.
Well, taking some inspiration from Heart Points, my spy name is Red Panda.
Red Panda.
And I am the muscle of the group. I make sure.
I like that you got to laugh by being the muscle. that
And
because same, if I'm being honest.
and my hobby is I like to trash pick.
Trash pick.
It's you find some treasures in there, guys.
Well, you know what? We value your commitment to responsibility and to reusing, so I'm going to give you a commendation dice.
I like it.
Hand that over to Red Panda. In fact, I'm just going to hand you a stack of them because that's going to be easier than trying to hand them all out. Commendation dice are good. These will help our algorithm in figuring out who is going to get that corner office. You want the most of these possible, and you'll get them by following, if you'll flip over your page, the 7 habits of highly effective Black Ops agents. These are the corporate values of the Hero Department. These are the values that we live by. Things like commitment to excellence, efficiency, team spirit, personal development, respect for authority, inventory management, and fiscal responsibility. So take that commendation dice, and we'll move on.
Got it.
Awesome. All right, You want?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I am. I'm Nanny Applebottom. I am a British nanny. And the thing that I'm bringing to this team is that I'm very well connected. I have like just a great network of parents and officials and children. I know a lot of kids. My fact is that I dress mostly in like carpet garment. So like just a lot of tapestry, a lot of thick floral prints that don't really match but also go together at the same time.
Sure.
Has Nanny Applebottom stolen a lot of curtains?
Yes, and she does it well because that's why she's a spy. Like that was like what got her into the spy business.
Were you inspired by The Sound of Music and it just never stopped?
Well, if you must ask Joe, Nanny is actually her first name, so she was just like, I guess I have to be a nanny because that's what her parents named her.
Okay, all right.
Well, hey, children are our future. Go ahead and take one of those commendation dice.
I guess I'm next. All right, my name is Jean-Paul Pierre, and I am an extreme trillionaire. That's everything that you can think of, like jet skis off of a mountain into a balloon on fire. That's what I do. It's extreme. My thing on the team is I am the face of the team. I'm good at just getting in people's faces with my face, and then they agree to things.
That makes sense.
I have a very thin mustache.
Well,
that's just an extra thing. The interesting thing about me is I am, or I think I am, haunted by my disappointed grandparents, who sometimes appear to me in visions and just fold their arms very slowly and look away.
Same. Hard same. Well, hey, take a commendation dice, but I want to assure everyone it is not because Jean-Paul Pierre made a large grant to the Hero Department Trust Fund. This is unrelated to that, but I am going to give you a commendation dice for
How do you say,
administrative
thank
support, is what we'll call it, or
Thank
something.
Thank you very much.
I am Kleb Begonenov. I come from long line of Russian bakers. We make best peasant bread in the world. And I am asset to spy team because all of my spy gadgets and spy hacking tools, I hide them in loaves of bread so no one know when they come. And they think, is Kleb having a nice snack? No, he is spying on you. That is my interesting fact. Everything come in bread.
Well, I gotta say, I tried the fruitcake that you gave me for the holidays, and my goodness, the way that you kept those fruits soft and moist was just chef's kiss. Have a commendation dice, my friend.
Very rich, this fruitcake.
All right, our final agent.
Tanuki Mario is my name.
Great. Good.
And I mostly got into the spy game because my arch nemesis brother, Red Panda, was a achieving spy that impressed our parents, and I needed to, catch up. So we've had a rivalry for most of our lives. I used to be a plumber, but I got stuck in this suit, this Tanuki suit.
I did notice that you were in a full-size Tanuki costume.
Yeah. I got stuck in it on my son's 3rd birthday. He's 12 now, and I can't plumb with this thing on, so I had to stop doing that.
It's very tight on you. I've noticed that. Leaves very little to the imagination.
Plumbing expertise is what I bring to the team, and my fun fact is I got to get out of this freaking costume. Like, I really need to get out. It's starting to become itchy.
Well, hey. I, for one, like the costume, and you're embracing the Hero Department's belief in business casual, in the casual side of business casual. So take a commendation dice. You look great, buddy.
I embrace your embracement of my inability to get out of this Tanuki suit.
You look great.
How have
Flattering.
you showered?
Say again?
How have you showered?
The answer to that question is I don't. My Tanuki suit gets a daily shower. I unfortunately am stuck inside of it, as we've covered.
This actually does explain a lot, sitting next to him.
Fair enough.
All right. So now we need to write. Now we get to the fun part. As you mentioned, we get to the written reports. You're going to write out 3 index cards. You're going to tell me 3 things that happened on the mission. The first thing I'm going to ask you to write out is you're going to look to your left and right. One of the agents on either your left and right, pretending that I'm invisible and imagining that this L-shaped table goes in a full circle. One of them did something good to contribute to the success of the mission. The first thing you're going to write out is what that agent did.
What if I didn't understand the Russian agent's name when he provided it in his
It's Kleb,
thick accent?
and there was a last name that I'm not going to go back and relearn.
Did you say his name's Klev?
Kleb.
Kleb. Got it.
Oh, I thought it was Claude. I'm glad you clarified.
And I'm sure there's a last name in there, but it's probably fine. Probably fine. I will take those cards when you are done with them. These are all very good. I want it noted, as you'll find out as we go. These are all very good. You should all be proud. Are we all good? Okay. The second thing you're going to do is the agent that you didn't pick the first time. So if you look to your left, you pick the one on the right, and vice versa. The other agent, unfortunately, did something to undermine or complicate the mission. They did something wrong. Now you're going to tell me what they did wrong. Great. Finally, there's one more prompt I'm going to need from each of you. Something went wrong, and you don't know who is responsible for it, but you'd like to find out by the end of the mission. So one more thing went wrong, and you need to figure out who is responsible. So tell me the thing that went wrong.
This part's going to sound great on your podcast, Kev.
This is solid. Some good writing noises for a few minutes.
Oh,
Followed
that part's
going to
sound the best.
Noise. All right.
We only bring the top quality audio to our listeners.
You could do Jeopardy music. You could edit that in.
That's true. Or we
true.
could give them like a prompt on like, what kind of hero would you play? Think about it while you're stop.
All right. So while I look through your written reports, just to confirm that everything lines up, that there's no discrepancies, no ethical issues we need to discuss, I should specify there's a slight chance we have a follow-up meeting, but really it's a formality. You should be fine. But for a moment, talk amongst yourselves. If we have a podcast host who wants to give us a conversation topic.
I've been part of this organization for years, and I've never had a meeting, so I think we're good, guys.
You're probably fine. Yeah. But there's a slight chance. I don't want to say keep your Saturday morning clear, but you're probably fine. If you make plans, it's probably okay.
Do you want to go get pancakes? We're not going to
I
have...
would love some pancakes. Thank you. I actually have some in my purse if you'd like some.
Hey,
I don't want purse pancakes.
Rude.
Hey, Tanuki.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you are free later this afternoon. We're going to do some extreme boarding.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can board pretty well. I got this extra balance with the tail. I'm getting used to it. I'm like 7 years on now. The tail helps me balance. It's good.
That's pretty good. Could you do it like while on fire?
While on fire? I would like to burn the suit. It might actually get it off of my body. Please.
I'm surprised you have not tried that yet.
At the daily showers keep it from getting all the way burnt down.
It's a thick costume.
Yeah.
Jean-Paul Pierre, are you French or Japanese?
I am trying to figure that out myself.
I am.
Sort of an Irish. Is there a little bit of Irish in there as well?
A little bit of that, yes.
I am sorry if you could hear sound of blender, but pancake batter is done.
Okay.
Do you want silver dollar or full-size pancake?
Full size.
Going around, what is your pancake size preference?
Silver dollar.
Extreme polygon.
Full size will do for me. A couple stacks of flapjacks.
You are making this very complicated. Everyone gets same size campfire twig inside pancake.
I did not understand the last half of the sentence. Can anyone translate?
There is dirt and twigs
No,
in
I can't.
all pancakes.
Oh, they're dirt twig pancakes?
I am sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I've been in this Tanuki suit for a long time. I'm getting used to the diet.
I guess you take what you can get when you smell that bed.
Yeah.
While we're all here, who's been leaving their yogurt in the fridge for over a month? It's really gross.
Oh, that's actually a really valid question. We do need to get to the bottom of who's been leaving. Just eat your lunch. You don't go to the cafeteria and buy lunch if you're not going to eat it. Don't bother bringing it. It's wasteful.
Those grilled cheese sandwiches they serve are delish. No?
This seems like a red panda problem. He was a trash picker, right? Wasn't that your special skill?
Yeah, I would eat the expired yogurt. It's trash.
Okay, fair.
Yuck.
No, it gives it an extra, it's good for the health. It improves your immune system.
Eating rotten yogurt, I would imagine.
I mean, I haven't been sick in years. I've never missed a day of work.
Fair.
I am a company man.
Yep.
I'm here every day.
Yeah, I know. You brag about it to our dad all the time.
It is yogurt. It has good bacteria.
Yes, bacteria can be good. And it's not my fault. I'm Dad's favorite.
Does it have extreme bacteria? Like
Extrema officialis.
I'll take that, sure.
It is the name of the bacteria strain. It is very good for maintaining gut health.
Yes.
May I suggest you try kefir?
Yes, I'll take that, sure.
It is like Greek yogurt, but thicker.
Why
It does
is
not go bad as quickly. Maybe it is
some
good
of
for office refrigerator.
Why is the hardest guy to understand the one that has all the scientific information?
Because it is funny when you cannot understand me.
We were outsourcing all our scientists for the company.
All right. So, unfortunately, this is one of those edge cases where we are going to have a follow-up meeting. You are going to have to come in on a Saturday morning. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry, but you are salaried and you do have to come in until the work is done. If you were hourly, we might be able to offer you overtime, but you get how it is.
But we can come in late on Monday, right?
Actually, the all teams meeting is Monday morning, and we kind of need you there for that. Okay, so
I'll figure it out. I'll take some extra vacation.
Here's the deal I'll make you. If all of the paperwork is taken care of Monday, maybe you can leave a half hour early.
I mean, I guess a win is a win, right?
Yeah. You know what? Think about it. Think of all that extra time you could have on your Monday. But there are a few questions we need to get to the bottom to, so we're going to gather you around. And now we're going to have a debriefing session. We're going to go over the timeline. We're going to assess strengths and weaknesses. We're going to have some discussions. We're going to get to the bottom of this and make sure that we all walk out of here with a better understanding of our mission and maybe of ourselves.
Love you guys.
So thank you all for coming. There's just a few things that we need to kind of suss out. I'm just gonna get right to it. I know that you're all here on a Saturday morning. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So I guess the first issue is Jean-Paul.
Yes.
Reports indicated that you brought croissants from a local Canadian bakery, and it did raise team morale.
Oh, that is good. I'm so glad that everybody enjoyed that.
I do have a question for you, though. Two questions, really. One, why did Mission Control not get any croissants? And two, why did you not trust our friend Kleb? The man is a lovely baker.
He is a lovely baker, but he said that he was busy getting ready for the holidays.
Is that correct? What do your holiday preparations look like, Kleb?
I have much baking to do for holidays. It was very appreciated that I did not have to also provide for team, because variety is the spice of life, and I like all kinds of baked goods. So this was a win for the team.
This was a win? Congratulations. That's living by the value of team spirit. Take a commendation.
Thank
Kleb,
you so much.
Yes.
We need you to commit to the mission. If you're coming in as the team baker, we need you baking for the mission. Work comes first. We encourage you to have hobbies, but the work needs to get done. I'm going to have to give you an infraction dice. Infraction dice are very bad. Even one infraction dice can seriously mess up your final score. You want to try to get out of here with 0 dice if possible. Spoiler alert, no one's getting out of here with 0 dice. I will make it my gosh darn mission.
I would like to add that I got the croissants from an upside-down baking treehouse in Canada. It was very extreme, so I had to get it.
Is that why you didn't get any for Mission Control?
I dropped a lot of them on the way down.
I ate those ones though because you don't
you're
let
a trash
anything.
bucket.
You don't let anything go to waste.
Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give you an infraction for a lack of respect of authority. Oh no, that's for you, John.
For me? Oh no!
Hand it up to me. Rude. How rude.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Red Panda, take a commendation dice. That's a commit. That's fiscally responsible. Don't let anything go to waste.
It was like a 10-second rule,
10-second rule. That's the kind of commitment to sustainability that we value here at the Hero Department. So follow-up question. There was an issue I'm understanding there is an issue with Nanny Applebottom's allergy medication. It apparently went missing, which is a big problem because she is, in fact, allergic to trees. First off, Nanny, can you confirm that you did, in fact, and we want to foster an atmosphere of honesty, can you confirm that you did, in fact, pack your allergy medication?
Absolutely. I couldn't leave the house without it. It was in my purse.
Okay. Did you see anybody touching your bags? Did you see anybody handling the luggage?
I couldn't see anything because my eyes were swollen shut because I didn't have my medication. So all my boils were leaking with ooze, and it was very sad.
Can anybody?
I can attest to this. I know that Nanny needs her allergy medication, but she cannot take it without a spoonful of sugar.
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. That is correct.
The only place this was available on the mission was from maple trees. And being allergic to trees, this expounded the situation and exacerbated what was already very dire with missing medications.
So the question, and this is something that I think that you all need to figure out amongst yourselves, is who was in charge of... It sounds like there was we need to know who was responsible for the luggage, so that we can know who left the allergy medication behind.
Well, I do know that one person is the muscle around here.
I don't. But I'm no one's bellhop. We leave that to Tanaki.
Whoa.
I was supposed to take the luggage and put it in the sewer system and have it flushed through to the operation, but it made a left turn somewhere along the way.
Did it? Because I have a report here that you got stuck in a pipe that was crucial to gaining access to villains. So
yeah, that's where the luggage got misplaced. I got stuck in a pipe. The luggage came right at me, hit me in the stomach, and then went right down south to New Orleans is where it ended up. Actually.
I don't mean to be nosy, Nanny.
We have one of those actually.
We do.
I did not mean to offend. But I forget what I was going to say. I just wanted to rag on Tanuki. He's always forgetting things. We put him in charge of luggage because he had none of his own, because he only wears suits.
I can't get out of it.
Smells like poop.
But
Did you just call him Nookie? I didn't know that was his short name.
Okay,
I did not mean to offend.
One, don't disrespect your coworkers. That's poor team spirit. One, poor inventory management. You need to be handling the luggage if you're in charge of the luggage. Nanny, take a commendation dice. That was smart thinking, knowing that you were bringing your allergy medication.
Thank you.
Well, I would say to Nuki, if you ever get stuck like that again, you just ask for help. We come and we help you in the most extreme way.
I've been stuck in a Tanuki suit for 7 years. I refuse to ask for help in any and all situations.
it's true. He's been a stubborn child since birth.
Well, I will leave that door open. You can always ask me for help.
Thanks. Once you figure out where you're from,
I don't know.
I might trust you enough to do that.
This was a beautiful seam of team spirit. How about both of you take a commendation dice? This is what we're trying to foster. This is family. This is more than a job, which is great because we are probably going to need to fill out some extra paperwork after this meeting. So, the pipe is stuck. Tanuki is trapped in the tunnel.
I get stuck in a lot of stuff, man.
So you have to take the long way around. Clev, you find an abandoned store and you start baking, which alerts villains to our presence. Walk me through the mind process.
Okay. I know that I am guilty of not providing baked good for mission. When the croissants come, I say it with a little French stank when I talk about croissants. It has nothing to do with me not being able to maintain an accent.
If you're not putting in the French stank on croissant, what's the point?
Well, I was trying to...
Find your accent.
Nope, got away from you.
This is why I just stick to American accents.
I was trying to make up for past mistake. And I thought that if I start to sound French, then the team will forgive me for not baking croissants.
One, take a commendation. That's solid. That's a commitment to excellence. You had a mistake. You tried to make up for it. My question: who was on lookout duty as you were baking?
Tanuki was on lookout duty.
I was
Is that
supposed
accurate?
to be, but I was stuck in a pipe.
So you're
could only look out for one specific 180-degree direction.
I had suspicion that scent of my delicious bread would bring anyone from blocks away.
I'm pretty sure the scent of my Tanuki suit covered most of that up.
That was also reason for baking. I did not want to be rude and get another demerit.
Oh, you're saying you were trying to cover up the scent of me?
You said it, buddy, not me.
So, villains agents are on their way. Nanny Applebottom, you guilted some lumberjacks into getting us past the checkpoint. Walk me through that process.
Well, what I like to do is treat everyone like a child, and basically I said, no, you are bad lumberjacks. And they said, what are you talking about? We're adults. And I said, yes, I understand that. But then I dove into their psyche. A few of them had divorced parents, so we talked a little bit about how that had been hurting them in the past. And I got them to cry, and then we stuck by them.
Solid plan. My question, how did you do this while you were choking on your allergies?
On my own vomit?
Yes.
Yes, I have tea at all times in my purse, and I chugged it, and it allowed my throat to warm up and really open up some vocal cords so I could speak.
Red Panda, does that sound right?
Checks out. I was in the room. I also shed a tear too. I was also eating the, pancakes that fell on the floor.
That's you were listening. You're actively listening. You're eating pancakes. Take a commendation dice, Red Panda. That's team spirit.
There's nothing wrong with floor pancakes, guys.
I feel like we're just rewarding him for eating.
Stay on brand, I say.
Do not fat shame. It make Clip upset.
That's a good point. We need to be respecting. I'm gonna have to give you an infraction for that. don't be shaming your colleagues.
Again, you gave it to the wrong person.
Sorry.
Yeah, I stick with my people, man.
Speaking of sticking, actually, there's a valid question about that. Where is it? I'm hearing reports that about 40 gallons of syrup went missing and that you were found covered in a sticky substance somewhere during the mission. Can you talk to that?
See.
We were on a mission to save the world's supply of syrup.
The world supply. I had a small supply that I tripped into. And then the pancakes were there. I figured, why not indulge?
Kleb, you didn't happen to use this disgusting man syrup? That phrase. Okay, let me rewind the sentence because I need to rethink that phrase. You didn't use this disgusting syrup that a man has fallen into in your baking, did you?
Absolutely not. Russian baking standards much higher. I only put dirt and twigs in pancakes because pancakes are affront to baking. Pancake is more frying than baking. Calling it a cake is just ungodly.
Panda, I'm gonna have to give you an infraction. You need to. You're the muscle. You're the man of action. We need you swift on your feet. We need you at your best. You can't just be falling into pancakes, especially because now there's syrup everywhere on data pads, on devices, everywhere.
Yes.
So each of you, I need you. How did you account for the fact that syrup was everywhere?
Well, who saved the day after this one? Who have foresight to put laptop and cell phones and knives and guns in loaf of bread?
That's pretty. I mean, most of our stuff was saved. It was just the crucial data pad that got ruined.
I think that's very selfish. I think it's selfish that you would just save your own equipment and not think about the team.
Whoa, is that true? Did you not put everyone's
He
gear?
only baked his own equipment into bread. He did not worry about our equipment. And so I brought wipes. I brought spanky wipes from my purse, and I put them all over the equipment, and I cleaned it up. And I think that's teamwork.
I will take blame on this one. As we already established,
Wait, you claimed credit first. Now you're claiming blame.
I was redirecting. I am not good at my job. But I was using work time as holiday family baking time, and that is why I could not bake all equipment. and only mine. I am sorry.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted, I guess.
Wonderful. Everybody gets a commendation dice.
This is
Team
healthy
spirit
work
all around.
environment.
Nanny, Cleb, wipes are not on the approved supply list. You know that. We've been over this.
But I didn't use company money for it.
That's a really good point. Take a commendation.
Yes,
That's a really
thank
good
you.
point.
Put my own money into this.
Cleb,
Yes.
that's good accountability. I respect that. Respect that, and I respect you. Thank you.
You are such good coworkers.
This is a real touch. This is a touching episode of Mission Accomplished.
It's a lot more loving than the last one I was part of.
Okay. Important question. You're in the maple compound. You're in the tree farm. Someone brought a Zippo lighter with a hero insignia embossed on the inside that a villain's agent got their hands on and was able to start a fire. Somebody undercut their lack of matches by bringing a contraband lighter. Who was it? Which one of you brought a lighter? Those lighters were a gift, and we said keep them off of company property because we are not allowed to buy lighters.
I considered it a favor to the team that I had lit incense on me at all times. I apologize for that.
I mean, it was appreciated because of the suit normally smells good because of the washing of it, but the inner parts.
It smells good to you. You like trash.
I guess, yeah. Who am I to talk?
I think it was, very nice that you keep that lit at all times. So I thought it was very interesting and very considerate that you brought that along.
Thank you.
Also, it allowed Cleb over here to make his fires and do the big stuff.
Is that accurate?
This is true. The igniter in the abandoned store did not light the gas in the ovens, and I had to ask, can anyone make fire here? And Jean-Paul said, I forgot my lighter. I'm the only one who smoke here because I think it's so cool.
It's very extreme and very sexy.
Yes. I use lighter for oven.
I gotta say, that's foresight. That was a smart plan. Take a commendation dice.
thank you.
Jean-Paul,
Yes.
smoking kills. Take an infraction dice.
Oh, no.
You're not being your best self. Your best self is healthy. Have you been listing the tobacco-free credit on your benefits plan?
Make sure you file taxes
Have you been
correctly.
listing the tobacco-free credit
They
on
are-
your benefits
they-
plan?
They are cloves.
Okay.
They are
all
not
right.
hurting anybody. They smell okay.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
And also, Nanny has always been telling us to share, and I was like, we should all share all this fire.
That's fair. All of that's fair. I just needed to make sure fiscal responsibility is important.
Oh, yes.
So there, I want to get into something with Red Panda and Tanuki Mario. I've seen you two been bickering a little bit, and we know that Red Panda, you called your dad to brag about being so strong. You tried to pick up a maple tree instead of just grabbing the syrup. We need to get to the bottom. We need to have a little bit of role playing and a little bit of therapy here. I want to see the two. I want you both to say something nice about the other person, right now.
I mean, I guess at least you love trash so much you're willing to spend more than 4 minutes with me at a time, unlike my family.
Thank you. That means a lot. And Tanaki,
You don't even get my name right, dude. We've been brothers our entire lives.
That's really poor team spirit. Take an infraction dice.
It's like new key. Like I got a new key.
Like, I did it all for Tanuki.
Mario, as I know you, you're your family. I don't care what Dad says. You're the best brother a brother could have.
Then why don't you tell Dad that? Why are you always bragging about yourself?
Because I want him to like me more.
Oh, God, this is the whole problem.
This backfired real bad because now I'm having memories of home and I don't like it.
I do not like that song, Tanuki. It reminds me of Limp Bizkit, which
That's what I was going for. And I don't think anyone got it. I did it all for Tanuki.
I do not like subpar baked goods.
So you
Limp
can take
Bizkit.
that cookie.
Stick it up your yay.
That's right.
Nanny does have a point. It does rhyme.
So we've got the lighter. Jean-Paul is lighting. Is this when your mustache caught on fire because it had too much mustache wax in it, and you had to
Get reconstructive.
you had to reconstructive facial surgery?
It's true. Being the face of the group, I have to make sure that my face is well maintained. So I did have to have reconstructive surgery. But I feel like my lips are a little bit plumper and more pillowy at this point.
They look beautiful. You look great.
Mwah.
The mission finished yesterday. Who's your doctor? That was quick.
He's an extreme doctor. He gets everything done in 5 minutes.
But you didn't expense that, did you? Because technically we didn't provide the lighter.
I'm a trillionaire, an extreme trillionaire. I paid for it myself.
All right, take a commendation. That's fiscally responsible.
Thank you.
I think he should also be awarded for efficiency because he drew the fire to his face as opposed to the trees.
I did take a face full of fire.
No, I refuse.
Okay, all right. Just throwing it out there.
I appreciate that.
I took a sacrifice for the
You
team.
know what, Nanny? Why don't you take a commendation? I appreciate you. You're owning not only your own successes, but the successes of your peers.
I love your
I like
successes.
So, you're trying to lift a tree. Tanuki, why are you hiding behind a statue of a Canadian Prime Minister when you should have been on lookout duty?
Okay.
You
for
pull
the
yourself out
third
of the
time-
sewer. You're out of the sewer.
Oh, I thought I was stuck in a sewer right behind the statue. It was going to be the
Oh, is that where the sewer was?
Yeah, it was just right there. So, like, when I
That
said I
ex-
didn't have a good lookout position because I only had a 180-degree field.
Sure. Because the
statue
sewer-
right in that field. That was all I could see.
Okay. Yeah, I could. I see.
Lookout duty does not end because you get stuck somewhere. You get unstuck and you are still on lookout duty all day long.
Well, the way I see it, there are three. Well, there's two of you because John Paul is on fire. So one of the two of you had to be on lookout duty.
Yeah, it had to be the guy on fire. I was stuck in a pipe behind a statue, and what else?
That's what I'm saying. The two of you are out of commission. You're lifting a tree,
Yeah.
which don't be involved in subplots. Take an infraction dice. Stay on mission. We've talked about this. One of the two of you is on lookout duty. Which is it?
It was me. It was me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's fair. So why did you let the team get caught?
Well, I was distracted. You see, I have just received a new iPhone, and I was playing with it.
And it had a lot of syrup on it.
It had a lot of syrup, and my fingers were sticking.
And your eyes are watering because of
My
the
eyes were
allergies.
watering, and I was pussy and throwing up, and it was gross.
And the dedication to this mission that you put into it, you knew you were allergic to trees. That's
You know what? That's a real commitment to excellence. Take a commendation dice for that.
Thank you.
Make sure you had at least. All right, yeah. Don't be trying to play
Damn
me
it.
here.
Do not look at my dice pile.
So, Kleb clobbers a syrup defense agent.
Yes.
Did you think that they were a villain's agent? Walk me. What was on your? What led you? When did you get into the thick of it?
Okay. I know I am not on the lookout, and I know I make mistake by not baking everyone goods in. I know I make mistake by using contraband lighter. So I think, oh, Red Panda is not here. I will punch someone. I did not care who. I did not care my eyes were closed because I punch faster when my eyes are closed.
You know what?
That's true.
You stepped into the line of fire. Take a commendation dice. Red Panda, where were you?
I was busy with the tree, trying to save some wildlife from
He
the
was
fire.
eating. He was eating.
Are you lying? Are you lying to mission control now?
I mean, I was eating while
Hold
I was
on.
doing it.
No. We need to get a consensus here. We've got two different points of view. The three of you. Was he eating? Or was he lifting a tree?
Are you asking me, Jean
I'm
Paul?
asking all three of you.
He was eating trash pancakes that he found on the ground and pouring syrup all over himself out of the tree that he had picked up.
Is that correct?
I feel like that's pretty efficient.
I think he was doing a very good job at multitasking.
He lifted the tree out of hangry rage. He was saying, I need to get my blood sugar up. I need to burn.
Health first.
And he lifted a tree Just because you say, I'm a big, strong man. I live 3 when I need snacks.
Wait, how'd this turn around on me? I was trying to save the wildlife.
This is what he does to our dad. He just keeps spinning his stories around and around and around until suddenly he's the good guy.
I mean, I don't know why we're bringing family into this. This is...
You leave your personal life at home. Here you go. Work is work. We're your family now.
Save the drama for your mama.
What he said.
To be fair, Mom died like 10 years ago.
Well, now
I
it's
did not know.
well.
I
Now
did not
you've
mean
brought.
to
Now you're.
offend.
Now you're making everything a bummer.
Yeah, don't bring personal life into
Don't
the
bring
meeting.
personal life into the meeting.
Give him
Take
one
an
of the dice. Give
infraction.
him one of the
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah.
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 You must understand, we must build each other up. We are a team. Right?
Don't suck up. Take an infraction dice.
You're right, I'll never talk again.
Don't get sassy. Take an infraction dice.
Little baby brown nose get 2 dice at once.
Don't make fun of your coworkers.
I could not resist.
Man, this meeting started out positive, and now everyone's fighting. I think I'm going to cry. I just need floor pancakes. Where are the floor pancakes?
And yet, the person in charge of taking care of people emotionally, the nanny, strangely silent. Take an infraction dice.
I was just protecting myself. All right.
Okay. So the building is on fire. Red Panda is sitting on fire and putting out a whole bunch of it. What are the 4 of you doing? The compound is on
Stuck
fire.
in a pipe, remind you.
Stuck on a pipe.
Also, if I can come to Jean-Claude Van Damme's defense,
They're very close.
his face was on fire as well.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
That's true. He yelled at me, so I came over to him. He smothered my face, and then I fell backward, pulling him out of the pipe.
That's solid. That's solid team. That's solid workmanship.
All right.
You can take a dice. Cleb.
At this stage of mission, my eyes are still closed because I do not know who I have to punch.
Fair.
So I do not know what is going on. I am stumbling through woods, my foot get caught in syrup, and I fall on my face.
All right,
I am not good at my job.
I'm going to have to give you an infraction dice for that. At a certain point, we need you to be at least a little bit good at your job.
I mean, I'm pretty surprised we got out of this thing alive. You're stuck in a pipe. You're falling.
Well,
your face is
well,
on
the
fire.
nice thing is that Nanny was able to get the children out of the air danger before any collateral damage was done. So at least we know where Nanny was, which kudos to you. Why were the rest of you not helping these children? There were children present?
I mean, face on fire, slipped and fell. Just recovering from being stuck in a pipe, dealing with a tree and fire under my rear end.
Okay, but you've put out the fire.
I spent most of the rest of the mission trying to get the Tanuki suit to become unstuck after the maple syrup spill. Remember when that happened? That got all over me. I was all stuck together.
There's a lot of maple syrup.
A lot of
everywhere.
it was
everywhere.
As established, maple syrup was everywhere.
And to be fair, these guys really aren't certified to deal with children. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we would have wanted them around the children.
I mean, I just would have taught them how to eat trash. So.
Right.
I would have taught them how to be extreme trillionaire. Not
I
an
would
easy
have
skill.
taught them to bake bread, for I have not have son.
Kids always do want to hang out with me because of the costume, but very quickly realize I only know about feces and where pee goes, and no longer want to hang out with me.
So maybe it was better. You see? Maybe it was better. than
maybe it was
We're
better.
going to stick to our strengths, you know?
Yeah.
No one gets a dice for that because that was a weird tangent. So there's one last question. You've stopped the villain's agents. You've contained the fire. Sort of a backdraft situation. Sort of containing fire, I guess, is what we'll call it. And you get to the battlecopter, and it's out of gas. Whose responsibility was it to put gas in the battlecopter, and why didn't you put gas in the battlecopter?
I would hate to say that maybe I look to the brothers. The brothers are good at carrying things. They're in charge of the luggage.
Yeah, we did have a pipeline set up and ready to go to put fuel like straight into the battle copter. I had a pipe ready to go for that, but so it turns out the tail of the Tanuki suit is actually missing right now, and I suspect that got sucked into the pipes while I was stuck in them, and might have just clogged that up a little bit on the other end.
All right.
We tried to pump. I mean, we tried. It was just the gas was not coming out of the pipes.
Now you're the muscle of the team. Did you pull out the Tanuki tail?
I tried. It was too far down the pipe already. I couldn't reach. My short little arms couldn't reach in there.
So my question to the rest of you, as these two were failing at their jobs and getting an infraction dice each, was how did you get out?
Oh, obviously we, Nanny and Cleve and I gathered up all of the maple acorns because, so there's we were inside a giant tree.
Sure, yeah.
And there's more trees inside of that tree.
Right. Sort of a Russian nesting doll situation.
Constructed together.
I'm sorry, that might be offensive to our Russian friend.
Oh, okay. But we constructed it together, and then we said, everybody get on, leave the copter where it is. And then we all went downhill to safety.
In style, because it was like snowboarding.
It was real extreme.
We did some flips.
That is smart inventory management. Take yourself a commendation dice. Okay, this, I want to say this answers all the questions I have, but I have so many more questions, but I have a football game to get to, so we're going to call this meeting a little bit short. We'll be in touch in the next few days with some next steps meetings.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
I'll see you later.
Pancakes now, right?
Love you.
Actually, I'm sorry. Breakfast did end at 10:30. It's 10:35 now, so you can't technically get pancakes.
I mean, I guess they threw the extras in the trash, right?
I was going to say, you can eat the ones out of the trash.
All right. You guys want to come?
As you're wont to do.
Okay, so now we're going to figure out who actually won the game. The first thing you're going to do is roll your commendation dice. What I'm going to want from you is the highest number that you got and how many of that number that you got. And we'll start with Red Panda.
2 6s.
2 6s. Nanny?
3 6s.
3 6s.
1 5.
1 5.
Also 1 5.
Also 1 5.
1 6.
1 6. Okay, now the game is going to get interesting because now you're going to roll your infraction dice. The way that infraction dice work is any number that matches one of your dice, that number entirely goes away. So if you roll a 6, all of your 6s disappear.
Interesting.
So now, I asked for your high numbers that now, taking away all of your dice that match your infraction dice. So if you roll 1 6 on your infraction dice, all your 6s go away, 1 5, all your 5s, etc., etc. Now, what is your high number, and how many of that number do you got? Red Panda.
I mean, it does not look good for Red Panda. I have nothing.
You have a 0? You have a flat 0. Great. Nanny?
I have 2 6s.
2 6s.
I have 1 5.
1 5.
Also 1 5.
Also 1 5.
2 5s.
2 5.
If you're totaling those dice, that somehow made my score go up.
So it did. No, 1 6 is still better than 2 5s, but you're actually, I think, did climb the ranks. Yeah, you did. Okay. The two of you with your 1 5s. Let's see. You've got the same high roll, same duplicate high roll. After taking away dice from infraction dice, how many commendation dice do you each have? So you have what? You have 1 commendation dice, and you have. Yay! I get to do a fun thing. Good. Excellent.
I'm really intrigued by when I have no dice left. I was not anticipating this.
Great. So there's a follow-up meeting scheduled in the next few days. Red Panda is mysteriously absent, and frankly speaking, you never see Red Panda again.
Thank
Nobody
God.
asks about it.
Dad's going to be so proud of me.
He sure is.
Isn't he going to ask where his favorite son is?
No one cares.
I think so.
The 4 of you walk in, and there is a cadre of internal affairs agents waiting for the two of you, as you have both been convicted of collusion and you are dragged off to rot in federal prison for the rest of your lives.
Specifically, Pierre and,
Yes.
and Jean-Paul.
Pierre and Kleb are convicted of collusion. Yeah, you're both convicted of collusion and dragged off.
Bye. Do svidaniya.
Goodbye.
Adios, amigo.
Turns out they were villains agents after all.
That explains the accents.
As Tanuki Mario,
Yeah.
you got second place.
All right.
We're proud of you for overcoming adversity. You've been trapped in that suit for so long, and you've done so much for this company. Congratulations, buddy. The office, the corner office, the car, it's all yours, my friend.
That's amazing. I would turn all those things down if you could like send someone to my house to get me out of this suit.
Oh yeah, you just have to fill out a form. And if you has no one ever given you the Tanuki suit removal form?
Nope, never came across that.
No, it has been 10 years.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I personally apologize for that. I cannot believe it is literally like 3 questions. It just says, "Are you trapped in a Tanuki suit? Have you tried the zipper?" And like name and your
Yes, no
cubicle.
Tanuki.
Yeah, I feel like you probably could have gotten it off at any time now.
So can I have that form?
I'll have to. Yeah, I gotta fax it to you.
Okay, this is how this happened the last 14 times I applied for the Tanuki.
No, okay, that makes sense. Well, we'll fax it to you in duplicate, so you should get 2 copies of the form this time. I'm gonna do that for you, buddy.
Great. Okay, thanks.
And now we come to Nanny Applebottom, our winner of the game. Nanny, this is a very exciting time for the hero department as a whole. You see, not only have we stopped villains, but we got a hold of some technology that we are going to use maple syrup and use trees to genetically engineer a race of like plant-based super soldiers. They come out a little bit monstrous looking, and they're a little bit hungry for human flesh for like the first maybe 3 years. But we need somebody to watch over them. Congratulations!
Wait,
You're being appointed as the nanny for our new tree planted super babies.
I'll die.
And the black bag comes over your head, and you're dragged off, and you are appointed the head of Operation Plant Baby. Congratulations! Mission accomplished.
Thank you, Jeff, for running that game. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to the 100th episode of Everything is Awesome. Let's go, plugs.
Oh, you can find my podcast, I Like to Movie, on iTunes and Stitcher and all those places. I Like to Movie, it's numeric 2, on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all over the place. Check us out.
Partyofonepodcast.com, allmyfantasychildren.com, SoundCloud.com/TalkingNog.
That's the
And
important one.
I'm going to have a mailing list for this game at some point, but I don't yet because it is in development. I'm hoping to have it out. I don't want to give it a date, but it's in development. I'm going to have a mailing list for it, for email updates, for Kickstarter and stuff. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll make that announcement. You can find me on Twitter at PartyOfOnePod.
You can see Scary Mofos Improv next Thursday at American Sardine Bar. Also, tune in to @ScaryMofos on Facebook and Instagram for upcoming shows.
Thank you. And you can check out the comedy show Gates with Joe Gates. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram at Comedy Show Gates.
At Comedy Show Gates, yes.
And the same on Twitter.
Thank you.
And keep up with us and see us on the first Friday of January, which is January 5th. And we will actually have a Sabotage plan.
Yep, so you can go see Sabotage at Latage for Comedy Show Gates. You can also see my baby coming May 3rd, 2018 at Bryn Mawr Hospital.
You're inviting everyone?
That's my other plug.
You're inviting everyone to come to the hospital?
Yes.
Are tickets still available for that?
Yes. VIP will get you some top-notch views of the park.
All right.
So.
And you can find Everything is Awesome on Facebook.com/RealAwesomePod, on Twitter at RealAwesomePod. I do most of my tweeting on at ThatNerdyKev on Twitter. Find us on awesomepodcast.com, and we are part of the Core Temp Arts Podcast Network on coretemparts.com. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this. Thank you all for coming and watching the 100th episode of Everything is Awesome. We'll see you next time right here on awesomepodcast.com. We've been awesome.
Yay! Happy 100th episode, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for listening to the Core Temp Arts Podcast Network. To listen to more Core Temp Arts shows, visit coretemparts.com.